Crows Club presents B-Side Breakdown.
Hey everyone, welcome to the B-Side Breakdown. My name is Brett Johnson and I am your host. This is episode 10. It's going to be a two-part episode where I'm going to be talking with Megan and Shane, who are an Americana country band now based out of St. Louis, Missouri. I've known Megan and Shane for quite a long time, and I've participated in music with them on various capacities over the years, and I'm really excited to have them on. We have a couple of songs that we're going to play for you, one this episode, one next episode. So let's get started. Here's the first song by Megan and Shane. It's called Alone. All right, and that was the song Alone by Megan and Shane. We're going to take a quick break and then get into a conversation with them about the song. So please stay with us and we'll be right back. Thanks. All right, now let's bring in Megan and Shane. Hey, Megan and Shane, thank you so much for taking some time today to talk with me about Alone and taking this long.
Thank you.
Absolutely. It's so much fun for me to finally have you guys a part of this podcast, just because the songs you've sent, I think, are so beautiful in their own rights, and they're so vulnerable and revealing, and they both, interestingly enough, remind me of being in a place that is not my home that I used to live, like visiting, Minneapolis or something. And I don't know if you ever had this experience, but I get those moments like when I'm driving around and I kind of just get transported back to a time when I actually lived there and get really homesick and wish I could just go home to wherever my home was. but it's like I no longer live there. And that sort of heartache of but it's this beautiful nostalgic feeling at the same time. Why both of your songs completely invoked that feeling for me. It was just really, which I thought was really cool. It was just this really fun, deep way for me to connect with those respectively, and I just really look forward to hearing about why those songs respectively are so meaningful to you both. So Megan, I'm gonna kind of pick on you in the song "Alone" first. Obviously, I know the song really well. I love it. I've performed it with you live, and that for me is such a gift and an honor to be able to do. But I would love to hear from you. Why is that song the song you wanted to talk about today?
Well, I first of all want to say it was really amazing to play that song with you too, and it was full circle moment for me to be able to play with you and our friend Nick with Shane because I heard so much about you guys before I ever met the both of you. So I felt like you were brothers way before we even got to plug in together. Um, but I think what you said was really cool, and I never thought about it that way. But that song is kind of that love and hate of Chicago for me. Um, and that song definitely means different things now, but when that came out, it was really thinking about when I was 21 and living in Chicago, and I really got my musical start there.
Mm-hmm.
And I got to play with this amazing musician named Urban Din, who had this. He was a bartender at the Smoke Daddy, and on Division Street, and it was this little tiny, like it was like a long hallway of a barbecue place that had a stage in the windowsill. And every Thursday night, they had a rockabilly duo named Torturing Elvis, and I would go there with my friend Conrad, who was a Chicago detective. I actually met him there. I like the whole thing is kind of surreal for me. He was kind of one of my musical dads, and I just sat there every Thursday and I go see him, and I'm like, I want to be up there. And he said, "You're gonna be, girl." And he introduced me to Urban the bartender, and I ended up doing a couple of songs a week with Urban when he did his night there. And that was a little microcosm of like musical magic for me. But I looked around and I thought, God, I got to get the hell out of here because this place is just suffocating me.
Sure.
And it's a suffocating place. And I just felt like I was in the rut, and the whole line about, um, look around and all I see are the faces of people wishing they were free. I worked for this psychologist at the time, and I just looked around and everybody gets up and they go to work and they go home and then they have their Saturday. And it was just like, I felt so crippled and trapped by that. But I loved Chicago, and I loved this magical little like pocket of this magical place that I could be. And I felt like I could escape it all. And that's really where the song was born.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I think it transcends, that sounds so arrogant. I don't mean it that way, but like a lot of people feel that way. You look around and you go, what am I doing? Like, I just want to get in the car and go. And that's
Right.
kind of what I did. I bought a Greyhound bus ticket and decided to leave. And my pal Conrad drove me to the bus station, and my sister was there. And I bought a ticket to Memphis, and I didn't have any plan at all.
Wow.
I
That's
had fi-
cool.
I had $500 in a
Oh,
suitcase, and I had a grandma at the other end of the country, and that was it.
I have to echo that story because I did something very, very similar right when I was 19 after I graduated high school. Um, I just up and moved to San Francisco, and I didn't want to be in Minneapolis. I didn't want to do the Minneapolis thing. There was this promise of music there and art and all this other stuff that I loved that I wanted to go explore as I'm, this just Midwestern kid right out of high school. But yeah, went with went with $500 with in a friend of mine's van. She lugged all my stuff out there, and yeah, I had my aunt that lived south of San Francisco, and it was just like no plan at all. I made it 6 weeks and realized, wow, I don't know what I'm doing, and I have to go back home and figure this out. And it was such a tail between my legs, unfortunate experience for me, but it was really also just showed me how little I knew about, frankly, anything about the world. And, of course, being a, teenager just out of high school, I thought I was so, evolved or something. But for me, it was just a really powerful experience. And frankly, I might connect to some of that too within the song, just because if that dynamic is what's going on in there, that totally resonates me with as well.
I didn't realize you had that experience. That's really that's really cool to hear,
Yeah,
And it's like the I didn't leave in my truck. It was on a Greyhound,
sure.
but that whole seeing the city in the rearview mirror thing, like, so long, suckers.
Yep.
I'm out of here. And then you go, oh my God, what am I doing? And some of it's great, it's like I wouldn't trade any of that for the world, but um I don't think I have stopped being that nomad since.
I love that you say that. And yeah, that feeling of, I feel a little bit taller, that lyric too also really spoke to me in that sort of same spirit of, I'm taking a risk and I'm going for it. I'm just I'm throwing caution to the wind, but it's okay. And I'm
Yeah.
gonna be okay. I feel like I'm gonna land on my feet regardless, even though I don't really know. And that's the beauty and the adventure of it. And yeah, Lord knows that, my family's been nomadic kind of ever since almost. It's been one of those, hey, let's move here. Hey, let's go figure this out. Let's go to this place. Let's try other different stuff instead of just conventionally
Hmm.
settling into that grind that you're talking about. But
I got to share this one little thing. This was
yeah,
like so crazy, like kismet kind of thing. So I was working at this piano bar in Chicago right before I moved called Howl at the Moon. And it was like a crazy rock and roll karaoke piano bar thing where I met some of my best friends in my life that we still know. And Kevin, who I worked with there, was at our wedding and played on our wedding song, like good, amazing people. I left. They all said, go, you got to go. And they gave me a journal, and I'm on the Greyhound. I took like the 3 a.m. because that was the cheapest. And I was with all these little old ladies, and I was writing in my journal, and we took a pit stop at the McDonald's in Jackson, Tennessee, actually, in between Memphis. No, was it Jackson, Tennessee? It was Jackson. No, because that would have been in between Memphis. I'm trying to remember where that was, but it was right before Memphis. And I was like, oh my God, what the heck am I doing? This is so terrifying. And I'm on this bus late at night, and I go into this McDonald's, and Elvis's Mystery Train's playing, which was like my favorite Elvis song at the time. And I was like, I'm going to be okay.
right.
And I get back on the bus, and my journal is completely gone. And it was like one of those moments where anything I wrote in there is gone. It's the past, and it's all about moving forward.
Oh, that's awesome. That's so freeing. I mean, I love that sort of universal energy validation nudge of that song playing for you, just kind of, if that's how you experienced it, of I'm guess I'm going on the right path, like I get those every now and again, and they're so welcoming when they happen. But even the fact that, yeah, that it's just a clean slate moving forward, here you go, get to go explore it all.
A
That's pretty
suitcase
amazing.
and a dream.
Right, right. Exactly. Exactly. So a couple questions about then the song. Which record does that song appear on?
So that is on Daughter of Country, which we released September of 2021,
Mm-hmm.
um, which was kind of our big debut of putting things out independently, like in a bigger way than we had been doing before.
Sure. And now, was this the one that was recorded and tracked in Phoenix? Is that right?
Correct. Yeah, we did that at Flying Blanket with Bob Hogue, um, and we did it all during COVID, and it was crazy and awesome.
That's really cool. So, um, I'm going to ask this also about the other song as well, just because I'm super curious. Did you write the music previously a while ago, or the lyrics a while ago, or did Shane? Did you thumb something on the guitar that kind of inspired this, or how did that come together? And what was the genesis of the song? Like, how did that come about?
Actually, Megan wrote this song 100% herself.
Awesome.
Like, what I started doing was I'd put a capo on the acoustic guitar in open tunings, and she would every once in a while just come up with like,
Kind of gave me the freedom because I didn't play,
Sure.
and she would just like, I came up with this song and it goes like this, and
and he'd suss out the chords and like
yeah, and she'd kind of have the basic idea, like, and kind of where to start, and then I'd figure the rest out from there. But this is one of those songs she wrote 100% herself.
That's awesome. That's super great. And I love that, hearing about your process and how you did that, because, right, I was thinking, well, wait, I didn't think Megan played guitar, but maybe, and I was like, how did that work? But that's awesome to hear, even that process of with your open tunings and the capo. That's really cool. So then, and that was something that you both, well, Megan, you wrote the song and then you figured out the arrangements, I gather, together, or Megan, did you wholly just, this is the lyrics, this is the arrangement, this is the song, this is what it is?
the arrangement was definitely together. It's like, I think that's one of my favorite parts about writing with Shane is I'll have an idea and I feel like he hears what's going on in my head and then he makes it better.
Well,
And then I'll come up with like some little
He has to have a caveat, but like,
no,
he
no,
makes it better.
I don't. But I'll come up with like a few more musical ideas, and try to overcomplicate
Which
it.
makes it better. Until he tries to put 3 modulations in it. I'm like,
that's
stop.
hilarious. Yeah, that's familiar. I remember the overcomplication of things, for sure.
It's like, can we not be the Beach Boys, for crying out loud? Come on.
No, that's awesome. And, and that's one of the things that I think is so beautiful about the two of you as songwriters together is just you both pull such amazing art and expression out of each other. And then when it comes together as just this one sort of voice of Megan and Shane, it's just, it's so great.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. I love everything that you guys do. And before we move on to the song Taken This Long, is there anything else that you want to talk about related to the song alone?
There's 2 things. It's like, if anybody feels like they want to go out on a limb and just try something different in their life, most of the time you're going to land on your feet. And I think that's the main thing, is to be a little bit daring and try it. And I think that's terrifying for a lot of people and it scares a lot of people. But I think a lot of us would be better off if we just tried to go for the thing that is in the back of our brain. That's the deep part. But then the
Sure.
video is really fun. So that was the first video we made for the album, and Shane totally choreographed it. We watched all these weird line dancing videos and picked up all these different parts of the line dancing videos. And we actually just used a big white backdrop at the School of Rock in Arizona.
Uh-huh.
We didn't do that in a fancy studio. We did that in a
with their
rehearsal.
cell phones.
In a rehearsal room.
Yeah.
And it was super fun. And I was so pissed at him because I'm like, I hate these dance moves and I can't get them. And he's like, and I'm in like sport shorts and cowboy boots. And he's like, just keep trying. And then we got it.
Oh, that's so great. That's awesome. Well, I'll be sure to post up a link to the video and where people can find the record and all of that as well. And that's going to bring us to the end of part 1 of this 2-part episode with Megan and Shane. Thanks for sticking around and listening, and we'll catch you on the next one. Thanks.
Three Crows Club